Hello, Bloomington. I'm Mayor Tim Busse, and this is the Council Minute for the week of August 16th. On Saturday, community members came together to celebrate at Bloomington's first ever Pride event. The theme for the day was Cultivate Love, and the event had something for everyone. There were food trucks, there were arts and crafts, including a mural that was on display by Bloomington artist and resident Jamie Schumacher, and there was great entertainment, including comedy, music, a children's story hour, and yes, there were drag performers. Drag has long been a part of the LGBTQ culture. The audience loved it, and it was entirely appropriate. Bloomington Pride has been in the works for a few years now. Through the work and the leadership of the Human Rights Commission and the City Council, Bloomington has been vocal and active in support of the LGBT community in Bloomington. We've issued a Pride proclamation for the past 5 years. The Pride flag has flown during June in recognition of Pride, and in recent years, Bloomington has sponsored a booth at the Twin Cities Pride Festival held at Loring Park in Minneapolis. Bloomington's involvement there was very well received, and I know because I worked in the booth. And one of the most common questions I heard while working in the booth was, when is Bloomington going to host their own Pride event? The answer was this year. Now, some people have questioned the appropriateness of the city sponsoring a Pride event, and it's a good question. So here's what I would say in response. More than 5 years ago now, the City Council sat down and listed out strategic priorities that would guide the city's work. The City Council very specifically identified equity and inclusion as important strategic priorities for the city of Bloomington. That means the city has acknowledged that equity and inclusion are vitally important to the future success of this city. And equity and inclusion are on that list, right alongside other priorities like providing high-quality city services, focused renewal of our neighborhoods and aging commercial centers, and environmental sustainability. Equity and inclusion are significant strategic priorities, which is why Bloomington has an active and engaged Human Rights Commission and has had one since 1968. Which is why in 2017, the City Council adopted a racial equity vision statement that reads, "The City of Bloomington will act courageously to advance racial equity. We will be a vibrant, safe, and healthy place where people of all races thrive." Which is why we have a community outreach and engagement division that thoughtfully and creatively engages and connects with traditionally underrepresented populations in our city. Which is why we hosted this inaugural Pride celebration. When we're talking about equity and inclusion, there is a definite intersection between LGBTQ rights, racial inequity, gender equity, housing issues, transportation inequality, and a host of other issues. It all interconnects in many ways. We can't pretend it doesn't. So yes, it's appropriate for the city to host a Pride event, and to prioritize equity and diversity, and to work to create an environment where everyone is welcomed, respected, and valued. One thing that makes Bloomington such a fantastic community is that so many people are willing to invest their time, their resources, and their courage in community activities. And they do so in positive, inspiring, and uplifting ways. That's how you create a welcoming and vibrant community. So a big thank you to our community outreach and engagement staff for coordinating the event. They did so in collaboration with a community planning committee, with Parks and Recreation and the Human Rights Commission. And thank you so very much to our sponsors, Hennepin County Library, Mall of America, Normandale Community College, and the Minnesota Valley National Wildlife Refuge. And an enormous thank you to everyone who joined us on Saturday. I'm not good at estimating crowd size, but city staff tells me that between 1,000 and 2,000 people attended the Pride event. That is a great community celebration. I look forward to seeing Pride join the list of Bloomington community building events like Summerfest, Heritage Days, and the Firemen's Softball Tournament. Here in Bloomington, we continue to see an increase in COVID-19 cases. The most recent data shows that we have 140 cases per 100,000 over the last 7 days as of August 10th. What that means is that we're still in what the CDC calls high transmission. Now, you know what I'm going to say next. Please take precautions to limit the spread of COVID-19 in our community. Get vaccinated. Wear a mask, get tested if you have symptoms, and think about how you'll change your activities, especially if you have any high-risk conditions or unvaccinated people in your life. For those of you not vaccinated, please talk to your doctor or with our public health staff. They will be happy to answer any questions you may have. There's been a lot about COVID-19 vaccines in the news lately. The bottom line is that vaccines continue to work incredibly well. They're doing exactly what they were designed to do, preventing most infections and almost all hospitalizations and deaths in people who are fully vaccinated. The data on vaccine breakthroughs here in Minnesota and nationally confirms just that. For those of you who are fully vaccinated, thank you for helping keep us all safe. That said, this week we saw that a third dose has been authorized and recommended for people who are moderately to severely immunocompromised. The authorization process went through our regulatory and public health channels and is again based in solid science. Talk with your doctor if you think you may qualify for a third dose. I know we all hoped we were on the other side of this. Unfortunately, the Delta variant changed that thinking. What hasn't changed is my confidence in city staff to serve and protect the residents of Bloomington. My appreciation for the parks and open spaces we're fortunate to have and to enjoy, the passion that our residents display for a better Bloomington, and my commitment to ensuring that we will get through this wave together like we did previous ones. Last week, the Government Finance Officers Association notified the city that Bloomington is once again the recipient of the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for its annual budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2021. Bloomington has received this award for, get this, 26 years in a row. That is some consistently great budget presentation. In the world of governmental budgeting, this is the highest honor or form of recognition that any organization can receive. It reflects the commitment of the Bloomington staff to meeting the highest principles of governmental budgeting. Now, in order to receive this award, Bloomington is required to publish a budget document right here that meets program criteria as a policy document, as an operations guide, as a financial plan, and as a communications device. It is no small task, and it really is an impressive document. Check out the most recent budget book on our website. This is the second award Bloomington has received from the Government Finance Officers Association just this summer. Back in July, the city was selected as one of 7 recipients for an award of excellence for the public engagement work staff did during last year's budget process. So why is this important? Making sure that residents and businesses in Bloomington know how their tax dollars are being spent is important to maintaining the trust and transparency between the city and its taxpayers. And residents appreciate it. Once again this year, 2/3 of respondents in our resident survey said that the value of city services for the taxes paid to Bloomington is excellent or good. That number is held steady for the 10 years of our resident survey, and I think it's a good indicator that people are confident in how we spend your money. Hats off to our budget manager, Kari Carlson, our CFO, Lori Economy Scholler, and to all city staff who play a part in the annual budget. That will do it for this week's Council Minute. To all of our high school students who started practice or activities this week for fall activities, best of luck and good health to you all. To everyone else, thanks much for joining me. Until next time, stay safe, Bloomington.